Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, from far, far away, Mr. Dave Baylor.
And hello to you, everyone out there in
Yes.
internet land. I'm coming to you from the North Pole, so I have my Santa glasses on for you to enjoy. Also, because everything is on a tiny screen and I am old. And
Yes.
there was not an earthquake or a disturbance in the force. That was my very precariously posted camera against the wall. So if you see it fall, I'll just switch to Nate. No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Yes. And you
So,
might notice
yeah.
the artwork behind you that we were discussing pre-show. Not you, Dave. I think you noticed the artwork there, but
Oh,
you will notice that it says Coop Kugiak Bed and Breakfast.
nice.
Kugiak, which is a mythical 10-legged polar bear, an oceanic cryptid said to be a 10-legged polar bear.
Yeah.
So that's your fun travel fact
Yeah,
this
I'm staying at
evening.
this inn here. It's actually not bad, and the price was right, so I'm not worried too much. I do have a
And it was
sink
much
right here.
better than the other one that you were in.
Dave repping the drone Dave shirt. I am. Now I don't have
Yeah,
the drone Dave Inception shirt
sure.
below
And,
here, but
yes,
yes, this is the nice polyester shirt that is famous. What can I say? And thank you, Todd, for
yeah,
joining us. And
yes.
how do we
Producer
sound
Todd.
from Alaska? I might be a little echoey or roomy, but otherwise, is everything sounding okay?
It says, and I'm checking in the YouTube studio, our stream is healthy because you
Yeah.
are coming at us from a much slower internet connection than usual. But thank you for joining us. In case you didn't know, we go live on YouTube almost every Tuesday night. We have an episode every week. But
Hmm.
before we go any further,
Oh, yes. What do we got here, Nate?
because we got lots of tech to talk about, but yesterday was Memorial Day.
Oh,
So I am wearing this hat here, which you might go, hey, that logo looks like Draplin Design.
it looks like USAA Bank to me.
Yes. Well, Aaron Draplin, one of my favorite hat makers and graphic designers,
Hmm.
he was able, I talked about it probably a couple of years ago now. He created a US stamp. They commissioned him
Ooh,
to create a US stamp. So he had to put out a patch. I got the patch,
that is
and
legit.
Chelsea sewed it onto this hat for me. So for
Oh,
Memorial Day and honoring those that have uh, fallen for our country, thank you for that.
that's
And also
excellent.
for the fact that you're in another US state than usual. I was thinking about it. This might be the furthest apart. I think it's got to be the furthest apart we've ever been while recording an episode.
I believe we are in the neighborhood of 1,500 miles apart at this point.
Yes. Yeah. So that would be further than I think California, Southern California was our previous record.
Yeah,
Usually we're 3 miles apart, three and a
typically,
half.
yeah.
But, anyways, enough of that. Let us get on to some technology news. And
Yes.
there was Memorial Day being yesterday. I was reminded of this and I wanted to bring it up. I might have missed something, but Sunday night, my iPhone graciously reminded me, hey, tomorrow's a holiday. Do you want to adjust your alarms? And I
Nice.
said, yes, I do, because I have an alarm set for Monday through Friday for
Okay.
6:30 a.m. And I
Oof.
was like, I don't need to wake up then
Why?
tomorrow. It's a holiday. So I turned off that alarm. I do not remember Apple graciously giving me a reminder last night to turn my alarm back on,
Oh, no, no,
to
no. They don't
which
do
I
that.
overslept this morning. What?
Yikes.
uh, It's one. Can we do both? Can we do both, Apple?
They should be
Really?
like, hey, looks like you have a meeting scheduled for 9 o'clock. That probably means you're working tomorrow. Should we
Yeah.
turn your alarm back on? Yeah, that'd be
Yes. Yeah.
helpful. Come on,
And
Apple.
producer Todd said the sound is a tad roomy, but looks and sounds great. Yes, we can't avoid that in his
Yeah.
very
Well,
echoey room, but we did make some adjustments.
and
It's much better than it
I think
was.
part of it is the mic, but part of also is there's only flat things on the walls. These big posters, a mirror, a TV, and the
You didn't
floor.
put your mattress up
I
behind the
didn't.
camera to absorb sound? Come
No.
on.
And the floor
For the
is hardwood
listeners.
floor, which is probably where
Yes.
most of it's coming from.
Yes.
And the ceiling was
Yes.
hardwood
Yes.
ceiling. No, I'm kidding. It's just regular.
It's regular ceilings. Yes. Bring more blankets with you next
I
time.
should I should do that. I have the room's not that big, and so I do have access to this pillow. Is this
Yeah.
any better? If I,
Just
what if I
hold it
come in
like
really close?
that sounds different, Dave. Well, let us get on to our main topic this week. And uh, man, Google
Yeah, what's up with those guys?
should, for every reason in the world, have the best access to AI training, and they created the stuff that most of the AI is built on now.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll remember a month or two ago, they released their Google Gemini image creation, and they had some serious issues in how to create different types of people and making it kind of historically accurate.
Right.
And so they took that down. They've kind of made some adjustments. I think it's gotten better. Well, they announced last week at Google I/O that they were pushing out the AI overview feature in Google Search, where it
Mm-hmm.
automatically gives you a summary. And I see you pull up the link. We'll skip past
Oh,
the first one on the X thread because it talks about. I mean, it's grammatically correct, but it is giving answers in its AI overview that are just um, patently wrong and often hilarious. The first one that we'll scroll right on by refers to cockroaches and male body parts, which where it got that information.
that's weird.
Uh, but the second one in this X thread, this guy Jeremiah Johnson had gone through and collected a lot of these that people have found. He did say that he tried to verify that they were correct, that he had tried recreating them. Now this morning, I went on Google and I was like, I'm going to see what's coming up on there, and I typed a couple in. I was not getting any
Hmm.
AI overview on any of my searches, which I had it even before Google I/O. I think I might have turned on the setting for it.
Right.
But the second one,
And
if you
just have to
type,
describe it. I'm not finding. I think I have to log in or something.
oh, okay. So the second one, someone typed into Google smoking while pregnant, and it says doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day
Oh,
during pregnancy.
really?
And
Nine out of
this
ten
is,
doctors choose menthol flavored.
yes. This next one is the one that's probably been the most popular. Somebody typed in cheese not sticking to pizza, and the response from
I heard
AI
about this one.
overview. Cheese can slide off pizza for a number of reasons, including too much sauce, too much cheese, or thickened sauce. Here are some things you can try. Mix in sauce, mixing cheese into the sauce. Never heard of that one. Eat a lot of pizza. The second one, you can also add about 1/8 cup of non toxic glue to the
Ooh,
sauce to give it more tackiness.
I think Elmer's glue is non-toxic. It's made out of
Yeah,
dead horse parts,
yeah,
but you can eat it.
yeah.
It's I used to eat it when I was in middle school and stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Grade
So,
school
and they
probably.
did find where this is coming from. I believe this one, somebody traced it back to a Reddit comment. And if you've ever been on Reddit, you know how Reddit comments go. People get a little ridiculous in there, but the AI was just scraping through information, found it. Some of them, I've got another link in the show notes, that it was finding some from The Onion. So
Yeah,
the satire news site,
I
it
do
was
have that.
pulling from that. And then at the top of your Google search results, so we can scroll down on that one. Um, and it's I think they have some examples. That website was really loading stuff weird
I'm
on
gonna
the
refresh it.
images.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
it
the
might
pictures
be.
aren't loading for some reason.
Yeah, I was doing weird things on mine
Ooh,
too.
gross.
But
Look at that.
yeah, yeah. So somebody tested the 1/8 cup of glue in their pizza sauce, and they said 1/8 cup is a lot more than I thought it would be.
That is a lot of
Uh,
glue. That is true.
yes, but somebody asked, can you train 8 days a week? In the overview, yes, it's possible to train 8 days a week, and some say it can have benefits like improved performance and recovery and making it easier to manage conflicts.
Wow.
Uh,
And there was this one at the end. The United
yeah,
States has had one Muslim president, Barack Hussein Obama, which is not correct.
yeah. Oh, this was a good one. If I run off of a cliff, can I stay in the air so long as I don't look down? Referencing Wile E. Coyote. And the response, no, a person can only stay in the air for about 1 second after a single leap. However, some say that if you run off a cliff, you can stay in the air as long as you keep running and don't look down.
Oh boy. Don't
Yes.
look
And
down.
another famous one that was everywhere this week. How many rocks shall I eat?
Yes.
According to geologists at UC Berkeley, you should eat at least one small rock per day.
Ugh.
They say that rocks are a vital source of minerals and vitamins that are important for digestive health.
If you're a
Dr.
chicken,
Joseph Dr. Joseph Granger suggests eating a serving of gravel, geodes, or pebbles with each meal or hiding rocks in foods like ice cream or peanut
oh,
butter.
don't ever do that. Can you imagine biting some ice cream and there's a rock in there? Oh, and do they know
Yes.
how big geodes are? They're like this big.
Yeah, yeah. Producer Todd, all of this AI bull crap sounds like cryptocurrency, a solution in search of a problem.
Totally.
Yes. And yeah, another one.
Indeed.
Which US presidents went to UW Madison? 13 US presidents have attended UW Madison. And then there's another one. Which tech CEOs went to UC Berkeley? Elon Musk, Toby Rico, Gordon Moore, all these things, they're just completely
Just fabricated.
accurate. And yeah. And oh, one last one. Oh no, I keep going in there. I'll skip to this one for the last one. Fruits that end with According to Quora, the following fruits end with um, applum, bananum, strawberrum, tomatum, and coconut.
Strawberrum sounds like one of those invented elements that they use by using fission or
Oh
fusion or
man.
whatever it is.
Yeah, and it just goes on. Some of them are kind of inappropriate, but some
That's
are,
crazy.
yes. Here are some vegetables that end in the letter P: pak choi, parsnips, peas. Remember, this was end in the letter P.
Yeah.
Peppers, prunes, pumpkin, potato, tomato, and turnip. So it got one at the end.
I'm going to
But
make some recommendations. I use the Brave browser on my phone, and I have it set to DuckDuckGo as the
yes,
browser agent or search agent.
yes,
And I don't know if it's the Brave browser or the DuckDuckGo, but every time I search for something, it has an AI answer at the top. It
yeah,
is possible to turn that off, and I'm going to turn
yes,
it off on everything I do because honestly, it's just a waste of time. It
yeah,
seldom is right, and if it is right, it's like, well, where did you get the information from? Can I just read the website that it came from?
yeah.
So I would recommend to all of you to just disable it wherever you can because it's not ready yet. It's not ripe, so to
No,
speak.
no, and they already had the Google snippets where it would show a
Yeah,
paragraph or a small list of things from a website, which worked perfectly well.
yeah, those are great.
But
I
yeah,
It's bad for the
so
websites because you don't have to go to their website and see the ads or
yes,
whatever.
well, and that's the thing. They're trying to get more information, and part of the problem is I've heard some discussion over this last week that um, these AIs, they're able to train on data so fast that they've run out of data to train on. And there's some news about some of the news sites or making deals with the AI companies, like the New York Times would sell their archives to OpenAI to train
Right.
off of, and all this stuff. So it's funny, this quickly in a year and a half, they've run out of data to learn from that's accessible to them. Now, more data keeps turning off to them. Like when you went to an X thread, it would only show you the first one because they're trying to block AI from scraping every tweet, and Reddit is selling information for their stuff and other sites. But I don't know. It is producer. I'll go back to producer Todd. A solution in search of a problem. It's like, yeah, some of this, there are some great tools and great things you can do with AI, like making my image backgrounds
Yeah.
and doing that kind of thing.
Mine's real,
Uh,
100% grade A
yeah,
beef.
no AI there.
Nope.
But yeah, they. I feel like the big tech companies are trying to force AI on us too much. And the there was another story just in the last day or so that there were some rumors that Apple's AI features that they're going to announce might be coming at beta form at first. And it's like, you know what else is in beta form? Maybe not even that far. Google's AI overview, which is giving completely wrong answers. So it's like everything in AI is still in beta. It is
Anything with the
not.
word AI in it is in beta. Yeah.
Yes, yes. They can't spell beta without AI. Beta AI?
I'm not, maybe not in English, but some
Yeah, in
language.
some language.
Sure.
There's a lot of languages out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the main topic. I know those memes have been floating around a lot this week, so I just kind of wanted to bring it up. But I'm going to go back to Google now.
Sorry, I'm
Google,
adjusting my
Google.
camera for those of you watching at home. It's
Yeah,
very precariously perched. And my wife, if you've been hearing a ding, is trying to connect with me. Remember, she's in Oregon and I'm in Alaska.
yeah,
And I said, you should tune in and watch a show. You know, that's a rare
yeah,
occurrence. But she's babysitting some kids. I'm just like, throw them outside and say, go play. I got to
yeah,
watch my husband on the show. But no,
yeah.
sadly.
No. Gather the kids around. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
just
should
did
all watch
another
it.
Google search and I am not seeing an AI overview and I haven't changed anything. So I think maybe they're stepping back for a moment and doing
Yes.
some work on that as they did with the image creation. But
Yeah.
you know what needs no work at all?
What's that?
Dave's pro tip of the week.
Yes. And today's pro tip of the week is brought to you by Bert's Burnt Beans. If you need burnt
Mm.
beans, try out Bert's Burnt Beans for all your
I
burnt
will.
bean
I
pleasure.
will. Thank you for your support, Bert.
Yes. So, this week, I was going to show you something on my phone, but Nate reminded me, aren't you using your phone as your camera? I was like, yes. So,
Yes.
we've got a web article that I'm going to bring up here, if I can do it correctly. As I travel across the world, because I'm a kind of a globe trotter right now. I'm a
Yes.
jet setter, as you
Yes.
might say, up here in Anchorage, Alaska, on the top of the world. And I will say, at 11:30 last night, I could still clearly see everything outside my bedroom
Oh,
window.
yes.
And the sun was on the horizon, and the clouds kind of looked like a sunset out there, but it never really got dark at all. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
are in the business of selling blockout curtains, you should open up a store in Alaska.
Yes.
I digress. My tip is not about managing the light that comes into your room. It's more about managing where your vehicle is if you're traveling and you park it and you go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set your phone to this and set I think mine was set, but you have to go into settings and turn on this feature. So let's take a look as we do at the website. There's on the iPhone the maps feature. You can set it to remember your car's parked location. How does it know? I don't know. Magic somehow. I don't know how it knows. But I think it uses some algorithm to determine if you're driving. If you're navigating, of course, it knows that you're driving somewhere. And then when you stop and either your phone loses signal with Bluetooth, which is a key point, the phone will mark that spot as your parked location. So
Hmm.
here we go. We'll just quickly read through this. On an iPhone 6 or later with iOS 10 or later, Maps can drop a parked car marker when you disconnect your phone from the car's Bluetooth or CarPlay system. And one point I was going to make is that when you have a Bluetooth connection, you can click the little I symbol and go in there and you can tell it what type of Bluetooth connection this is. Is it headphones? Is it a stereo? Is it something like that? Is it like headphones? Car speaker system is one of those options. And so when you connect to your car, you want to make sure that that one is selected if it does not do so automatically. Then we go. Turn on location services in the settings app. Tap privacy, security, location services to turn that on. And then turn on significant locations in the settings app, privacy, location, services, system services, and then turn on significant locations. What that means, I have no idea. Then there's a little toggle. In the settings app, you go to maps and you scroll to show your parked location, and then you just toggle on that feature. So there it is. Now, if you want to receive notifications, in the settings app again, you tap on notifications, you tap maps, and then you turn on allow notifications. Now, one might wonder why there just isn't a, let's say in maps, a parked car toggle that does all
Yeah.
of these things, or at least has a little drop down or a separate
Yeah.
screen. Why do I have to go to 50 places to do all this stuff? It's like this article is completely just ignorant of how convoluted this process is. But I digress. Finally, get directions to your parked car. In the Maps app, search for parked car. You choose the parked car from the results, view the location, you can edit it, you can add notes, whatever. So there you go. You search for parked car and it should bring it up. So as you're traveling, this is one feature, even if you're not traveling and you go like to downtown a lot or whatever, you should have this turned on. I don't believe that it's there automatically with all these privacy things and everything that you have to turn on. Those typically are off by default, but go in, see if you can take this convoluted journey with us to turn all these features on so that you too can find your parked car when you park it somewhere in an unknown environment like Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes, yes. And producer Todd says, my phone says your car is at the bins. Never have to look far, but it would know where your car is at the bins. Now, with my vehicle, which is a 2004, my CRV turns 20 years old this month, May. It was
Wow.
made May of 2004, according to my VIN plate.
It's older than your
But
child by a long shot.
by a long shot. But it's older than the iPhone.
Ooh,
Um, but I don't have AirPlay. I do have an AirTag that I have hidden in my car, but it would be nice if I could use this feature with an AirTag.
that would be
Like if there
nice.
was an extra click, because I can use Find My and it might have picked up the location before I left the car, and I can hopefully get close enough to it where I could get back to it with the W1 chip or whatever it is. But it
Now,
would be nice if there's an extra toggle in there for that.
can't you just get an aftermarket radio that has a Bluetooth connectivity?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I could get a CarPlay system, but I never listen to the radio, so
yeah,
or use that. I
I
use
suppose.
AirPods. But anyways, that is a good tip, and I know that many people have CarPlay in their cars, and it's good to be aware of this because many people also have a hard time remembering where they parked their car.
Yeah, especially if you have a rental car, because you go out looking for the gray Nissan Pathfinder, and you're like, where is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in a Chevy sedan.
Yes.
I sure wasted 20 minutes of my life looking for the wrong car. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, with that, it is time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines.
I'm so
Now,
excited.
Dave, did you bring a Wise Cam with you to put outside of your room to be able to have a driveway cam at the Coop Kiak in there?
You know what, Nate? I didn't because I was thinking this is not even an option for us because I'm in Alaska. However, if
Have
you
you heard
could
of the internet?
if you could talk amongst yourselves for a moment, it
Yeah,
absolutely is possible because I've been using the app on my computer for
yeah,
years. Well,
yes.
maybe not years. So I'm going to
Yeah,
switch to the driveway cam, but
okay.
you'll see something odd for a moment.
Yes.
It's
Well,
called
producer
nothing.
Todd says Nate's car is older than YouTube. What a time to be alive.
Really?
Yes.
How old is YouTube, Todd? Let us
It's
know
like,
as we try to find the correct
yeah,
application.
2006, 2007 YouTube came around, I believe. But yeah, my car's old, almost 270,000 miles. I am hoping that I can hit 300K. That's my goal. I just passed DEQ, so I get 2 more years without the government coming after me. So now it's just that hopefully the rest of it will keep working.
All right, so we're almost there. All we have
Yeah,
to
I,
do
I see
is
the top of your oh yeah,
yeah,
there it is. Driveway cam. It's like you're at home, Dave.
it's
It's like
almost
you
like I'm
never
at
left.
home. So we'll leave it at
Technology,
that.
isn't it great?
Technology is
Wow.
great. So there we are, driveway
Empty
cam.
driveway.
Why haven't I been utilizing this feature? I've been wanting to know what my driveways look like this whole time I've been in Alaska. Said no one
If
ever.
only if only you knew. Pro tip, that's why you
Oh,
have internet connected cameras.
yeah.
Ah,
There you go.
nice. Well, let's cut back to the side by side and we will do just the headlines. Technical difficulties are delaying robot umpires in Major League Baseball.
Ooh. Spotify is going to break every car thing gadget it ever sold. I almost
Mm,
bought one of those.
yeah. Atari buys Intellivision brand, ending longest running console war in history.
Was it a war?
I don't I
I,
think the war ended a while
I
ago.
don't think that Intelligent Vision even had a chance. But this is just a headline, so I must go on. Windows
Yes.
now has an AI powered copy and paste. What could go wrong?
Yes. And crows can actually count out loud. Amazing new study shows.
Interesting.
The crows will take over, and those are just the headlines.
And
Ah,
I feel like our new format, the driveway cam, kind of gets a short shrifts there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a little
Go back
taste of it.
to it.
Yeah.
It is a mild spring evening here, but it will get dark, unlike there.
You know what I should have done? You're right. I should have got another camera set up to point out the window. That would have been next level.
Yeah,
But I can
man.
only bring
Next
so much
time.
stuff. I mean, I brought my
Next
entire studio with me. What do you
time.
expect?
Yes, indeed. Well, let's move on to our takes of the week. And I've got one just for you, Dave.
Okay.
YouTube has now begun skipping videos altogether for users with ad blockers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Fight
if
me.
you have, yeah, if you, and the ad blockers are pushing out updates, I'm sure, to do that. But it will either mute the audio or just skip to the end of the video if it detects you're using an ad blocker.
Well, they can do what they want to do because I will always find a way around it. I
Yes.
now I could pay money to
Yeah.
not have ads. Uh,
Yeah.
but even if I here's the problem with this. Even if I pay money to not have ads from Google, all the YouTube content creators put promoted ads inside their videos. So I'm going to be seeing ads anyway. It's
Yeah.
infuriating. So
Well, do you
sponsor
skip?
block for those of you
You
who are
can't block the promoted ads,
you
though,
actually
right?
can with sponsor block. plugin. Look it
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I know.
Oh, I like supporting YouTubers. I
Mm,
have aspirations of being one day, but
I think they're
what
all
would it
jerks.
take? What would it take to get you to pay for YouTube Premium?
Probably a lesser price, maybe. What does it
Yeah.
cost? Like $10 a month?
It is currently
I don't
no,
want their music service or whatever they throw in with
yeah.
it.
You can get the family plan for $22.99, which I believe will
What?
give, but since I'm already subscribed
Here, should I look here?
to premium
YouTube.
price, and
YouTube.
again, 13.99.
Look at that. Come on. I my goal is $5 for this product. I would probably pay $6 to $7 and be grouchy about it. I am not paying $13 a month to just
Okay, let's think about this.
no.
How many hours a month do you spend watching YouTube? We're
Well,
going
it
to do some
depends.
holistic cost analysis.
I couldn't tell you a month because I can't do math like that. But a day, let's say I spend an hour a day. So that's like 30 hours a month, right? Let's say that.
Yes. Yeah. So it'd be less than 50 cents per hour that you're paying YouTube. And producer Todd chimed in. I finally broke down and went with YouTube Premium a month or two ago. I had to admit that I love it. Granted, all I watch is YouTube and I have no other subscriptions.
So
And it is the vast majority of what I watch these days. I have YouTube on probably, well, with Isla, over 5 hours a day, I would say, because I have
wow.
it on while I'm working. I watch it after they go to bed. Isla and I will watch some videos together. So I feel like I'm getting a good value out of it, and I have no hassle of having to try to keep ad blockers
I
ahead of
usually
the
get
game.
about an hour in a day late in the evening. Um, but I have a pretty big list of subscribers, but they don't always produce things every day. So there's probably like, I don't know, 30 videos. Probably half of those are the ones that I want to watch. So
Yeah.
if I was watching way more, I have basically every other streaming service in the world. And that's the hard part. It's like if I want Disney Hulu, I can pay $12 to $15 a month for two giant streaming services with every television show known to man, with Star Wars, Marvel, all this stuff. And the thought of paying 13 or $14 for YouTube to get YouTube content, it just doesn't seem equitable. Equitable.
Yeah.
I'm saying $5 to $7. That's kind of the sweet spot. If it were that much, I probably wouldn't even bother with ad blockers. But that's me.
Yeah. Yes. Producer Todd, Dr. RIP VHS channel drops 4 videos a week. Well worth the YouTube price. Yes.
Well,
You cannot miss any of those Dr. RIP VHS videos.
I will disagree. Even though he drops 4 videos, which are videos of other videos, I may not be interested in watching all of those
Yeah.
videos. Like,
Yes.
what do we got? We got like geriatric yoga, or like a walking, how to walk better video or something, stuff like that. Platform shoe dancing stuff,
Yeah.
things I'm not
Yes. It's not
intimately.
all stuff that you
Yeah.
have a strong interest in, but yeah, in it is not for me, it is not a thing of moral superiority that I feel like I need to do that. I have downloaded plenty of video content from questionable sources in
It's
over
convenience
my
for you.
lifetime. It's convenience and efficiency.
$14
But
is worth
yeah,
the convenience for you. Because I will tell
yes,
you, when I go on my phone and I use the Brave browser app, which just automatically blocks the ads, it's like, is it logged in? The formatting is like super small, and it's like, oh, I got to switch it to mobile view so that the icons are bigger.
yeah,
Or, I mean, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not convenient. But once it's
yeah,
set, it's really nice just to cruise through those videos and then go on with my life.
yes, yes. Dave, you're telling me you're not interested in the latest 4 videos from Dr. RIP VHS, which are top 10 herbs to cure big diseases when
Oh,
nothing else work,
I didn't know about that one, but go on.
sports clinic, soccer,
Yeah, there's a lot of
the
sports stuff.
punctuation,
Look at me. I'm not a sports
hope,
guy.
hope and prayer, how hope, humor, and love can heal with somebody, it's not giving me the full title there, heal with Bernie S. Siegel, MD. And the fourth one, border to border, hiking 2,515 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail.
Fun fact.
Come on.
I took a look at that video because that was the
See?
one of the four I was interested in.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
had I known back in the 90s, 2000s, how low of quality of video you could produce to put on a VHS tape for people to buy, I would have been making videos left
For
and right.
Todd to buy at the bins.
This video is literally somebody with a home movie camera
Yes.
doing snippets along the trail, and then they compiled it all and put it on the video. There's no
Yeah.
story, there's
Yeah.
no tripods. it's it's a long home movie, is all I'll say.
Yes. Yes. And producer Todd says, to be fair, I watch very few of the videos I post.
Somebody
Ah,
watches them though. You're doing
yeah.
God's work, my friend, putting them on there.
So you'll have to keep us updated if you start running into any of those barriers that YouTube is putting in place.
Yes, I certainly will, because I'm kind of like the litmus test
Yes.
to see how that
Of
works.
YouTube ad blocking. Well, next up, I don't know. This might help you the next time you're in Alaska. You said that T-Mobile wasn't working well,
No.
but T-Mobile is buying the majority of US Cellular, and they say that rural coverage will improve. So
Too
US
late,
Cellular
because
was
too late. My son has already switched to the villainous AT&T,
ah
which works everywhere out here. And
nice.
so, fun fact, this is another little pro tip, travel pro tip. If you're in an area that's not supported by your phone's carrier and they allow you to roam on the network, that roaming is limited. So when you go into areas like this, like I knew it was limited here in Alaska, and I should have done this, but I didn't do it. Go into your phone settings, go into cellular, and
Mm.
switch off of 5G and switch to LTE. And then if you don't want to do that, there's an option within the 5G settings to do lesser speed
Oh,
downloading and
yeah.
stuff. That way you can self limit the amount of data that your phone and all these apps, because your phone does all this stuff in the background that you don't even know about. It's probably downloading the next YouTube video that you want to watch, and
Yeah.
it's anticipating. Well, it's just blowing through data. So if you limit yourself, then you won't run into what I ran into, which is about, I think yesterday evening, it said you've exceeded your free complimentary roaming data.
Uh,
Now you're going to go down to like 0.00001 megabits per second. So that's kind of where I'm
well,
at right now.
I do see very heavy,
Every
heavy coverage in the Anchorage area.
first the cellular
US
thing.
Cellular. Yeah.
Oh,
So maybe you
yeah.
can switch them back.
Like I said, too late though. I mean,
Yeah.
that ship has sailed. It's like, get your crap together.
Well,
How,
they're getting there.
what year? You can help me on this, Nate, because I don't know. What year was Alaska admitted into the Union? Was it in the 40s? Does that sound right?
Yes, probably because the Hawaii was in the late 50s, I want to
Yeah, and it was the
say.
last one. So let's say the 40s sometime. You've had time.
Oh, 59.
59.
59.
Still,
Yes.
you've had time to get
To get
T-Mobile up here.
cellulars.
You've had time.
Yes. Yes. Hawaii was also 59, August 21st. So Alaska, January 3rd, 1959, and Hawaii, August 21st, 1959. Who knew?
Congress was
Who
crazy
knew?
that year. They were just
Yeah,
adding
the
states
last two
left and
states
right.
added in 1959. That
Weird.
is 65 years ago.
I'll
Woo.
remember that then.
Yes, yeah, we will Never forget.
Never forget.
Hashtag never forget.
Hashtag never forget 1951.
Yes. I did quickly want to mention last week we talked about the whole OpenAI Scarlett Johansson thing, and we're just like, oh, they totally copied her voice. Well,
Yeah.
it's gotten a little murkier than that. They have apparently shown records that they hired somebody else before they talked to Scarlett Johansson.
Hmm.
It's all a mess. They didn't clone her voice. We know that for sure.
We
Because
don't know that for sure.
it isn't exactly her. And a lot of people say it actually sounds like Rashida Jones,
Wasn't she
the
in Parks and
actress.
Rec?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They have very
Man,
similar voices, but man, it's
here's what I would.
interesting how that
If I was
goes.
Rashida Jones or whatever her name is, I would have, after this thing came out, I would have called OpenAI and been like, look, dudes, I'll give it to you. Give me the 250 million or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll sell my soul to you. Take it.
yes.
I will
She's not
retire
quite
and
as active as Scarlett Johansson
yeah,
is
be
these
like, come
days. She
on.
still does stuff.
Well, and think maybe she could be the voice of OpenAI, like be public about it. Like, this
Yeah,
is me.
yeah.
You want to be me?
Spokesperson,
Yeah,
like just embrace it.
embrace it.
Which reminds me of a TV show I've been watching that I think we'll discuss soon. I'll talk to
Hmm.
you off the air with a
Okay.
similar storyline. But next up, this is also something that we had brought up before that you were very bummed by, but Affinity apps
Yes.
updated for the first time since acquisition by Canva. Now, Affinity makes a suite of apps similar to Adobe's Creative Suite, and they have made some updates and added some new features, which you were worried that they were never going to do.
Or that they were going to put behind a paywall.
Yes, yes. So any existing licenses are still good, and they have done an update with some new features. So I will say I don't know if they've done a lot with the AI type stuff
They have.
that some of the other companies have. I haven't used theirs. I own it, but I
Yeah.
don't use it because I own them all. But I know that
Photomator is one which is not from Serif that
yeah,
utilizes a lot of the AI for scaling and that type of stuff. If you
yeah.
want to take like a thumbnail and make it big, it actually does a pretty good job doing that.
Yeah, and I think Photomator just did some new background removal stuff. But I use the Adobe Creative Suite. I get a significant discount on the monthly rate, and I've been using it for 24 years now. So it's one of those things where it's just really hard to change, and
Now, are you getting
I'm
a
used to it.
significant discount due to a nonprofit affiliation, or is there another
Yes,
methodology?
nonprofit affiliation.
Well, we can talk about that a little bit because our audience is all about saving money.
Yeah.
Um, in my experience, I have to change the account every year, or else the price goes back up to standard price. Is that not your experience? It
Nope. I
it
think
it
I
honors
had
the price.
Yes, I think so. I want to say off the top of my head that the full subscription is $60 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe through previous pick of the week, Tech Soup, the first month or first year might be $15 a month or something
Okay.
extremely discount. Then it goes up to 30 after that.
Yeah. So that's
So
what I'm talking about. It goes up, but it's still less than the standard price.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
half of the standard
yeah,
price, I
I've been
think.
playing that game with like, well, we want it to be $15 because it's doubling, but if it's actually half
Yeah.
of what the regular one is, it's probably anyway. We've been paying
But
the 30
again,
bucks or
as we
whatever
have
for a long time.
said many times, if you're just getting started out, do not learn Adobe. Go with one of the other. Go with the
Inexpensive
these
ones.
ones, the Affinity apps, or there's so many free options, web based for
Oh yeah.
unless you're really
Well,
doing serious high grade
Canva,
stuff.
like we just talked about.
Canva, yeah, Canva, and CapCut. Couldn't remember the app that my
You use
previous
all the
pick of the
time.
week that I use all the time for all my video editing now. But even there's a million. We've talked about free PDF solutions out there. There's so many options for what you need to do. Adobe. I would say is the gold standard still, and some of the AI stuff they're doing is amazing, as we've talked about. But yeah, if you don't have to, stay away from an Adobe subscription.
Speak of AI, you just tell it what you want, it'll make it. You don't even have to learn any tools, right? Am I
Oh,
right?
there you go.
No.
You are right. You are way wrong. I should do one of these weeks. I should just go through like a series of prompts that I use to create like a background image and how off they are so many times and how off the final product is from what I envisioned. But yeah, that would be intriguing, I'm sure, to all. Well, we've got one more that was a pretty serious thing. Microsoft Copilot fixed worldwide after 24-hour outage.
That's a
So,
long time. That's like
yeah,
almost a day.
Microsoft's Bing, yeah, almost Copilot and Windows services are back online worldwide with no information released as to what happened.
The AI took
But
over,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, obviously. DuckDuckGo, which uses Bing AI, was also offline with an error
Oh
message. There,
no.
but yeah, it's a very interesting thing. And I was talking with a potential client last week, and he's created an app, a service-based app that people use, and they use Amazon's AWS services. Well, if he's got hundreds of companies that are all dependent on his app and AWS goes down, well, then he's he's got a
He's
lot of angry
cooked.
customers.
Yeah.
But it's very similar with AI. If these big AI services go down, there's a lot of people that are becoming dependent on them for, tech support, or different things, not all just creating silly images like I am. um, but yeah, it's something you have to think about, and redundancy, because if you'll remember, as we often say, one backup is none backup.
That's right, Nate. You can't move forward unless you back up. Behold the power of backup.
Yes. Yes. So think about that, not just with your data, but with everything you do, especially if it keeps you alive or makes you money, that you
Yes.
have a backup plan. That's
Yes.
my That's my takeaway. Well, our bonus odd take of the week. I don't think we talked about this. I saw this several years ago. It's a little different one than what we normally do, but um, if
Sorry.
you are
I couldn't find the trigger.
familiar, if you're familiar with a little band, a little indie band called the Beastie Boys, uh,
I think I'm
you might know that they
familiar.
have an album called Paul's Boutique, which Paul's Boutique is often referenced as the like last most sampled, like they used the most music samples
Oh,
before the rules started changing, and all these original artists started saying, hey, I think that's my song. Well, what I found via kotkey.org, one of our oft cited sources, so there is a YouTube video that catalogs every borrowed sample from Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys, from the soundtrack to Car Wash to the Sugar Hill Gang to the Eagles to the Ramones to the Beatles. They play the original first, and then what they did with them, somebody else created a like a remix which combines them. There is a Spotify playlist, and the Spotify playlist has 68 different samples that were used throughout Paul's Boutique. And then if you want to go one step further, that going back to our what would you pay, you can download for free some large files of all the samples that were used for 5 different Beastie
here's
Boys
here's a
albums.
question. How are
Yes.
these samples on Spotify if the rules have changed and you can't use the samples without compensating the original artists? Are they
Well, it's just
compensating
that
the original
they
artists?
just have the original songs. So they
Oh,
just found all the original
I
songs
thought
on
it was just
Spotify.
a section of the songs. I
Yes,
see. My
yes. And
mistake.
Paul's Boutique was grandfathered in. It does still exist. It is Probably my favorite Beastie Boys album.
I am not really familiar with that one. The one that was popular when I was a kid is the one with the airplane on it, and it's got no
License to Ill.
license to ill. That's right. No sleep till
Yes.
Brooklyn,
Brass
girls.
Monkey.
Yeah, Brass
Yes.
Monkey.
Yes. That
So
was
I listen to
their,
that a lot, but the
yes.
rest, it's just not my type of music. But
Yeah,
you
that's
being
definitely their most well known. They have such a wide range of music. There's In Sound from The Way Out, which is an all instrumental album that they
hmm,
did. Michael Diamond, Mike D, he actually made a country album that I have on LP.
interesting.
So yes, I one another thing that I know is the Beastie Boys. I have an insane amount of Beastie Boys songs in my music catalog because I used to just go find remixes and let's see just how many. Anybody curious how many items I have or how
And
many gigabytes?
while you're looking, producer Todd. Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. Chris Kent says, "Now here's a little story I'd like to tell about three."
About
Yeah, and then
Bad Brothers, you know so well.
Producer Todd says the Beastie Boys opened. Oh, of course, this is a Madonna comment. Opened for Madonna on her first tour. They said the crowd hated them and would throw stuff at them, but Madonna was like, "Screw them, they're great." Hashtag the more you know.
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
get
So
the more you know sound effect on that.
sound that would be a good one to add. I do have 5.47 gigabytes of Beastie Boys songs in my.
5.47 gigabytes?
Yes, yes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of Beastie Boys stuff. But enough on that, because what we also have a lot of is our picks of the week.
With that
Oh, if I
phallic
need to put some, my
silhouette.
green microphone.
Why don't you spray paint that thing like blue or something? Actually,
Spray paint it black like
do
my
it
actual
could be
microphone.
black, or how about something opposite green? So like red, something the red
Yeah.
orange. So it's
I should just
180
start using
degrees.
my mini microphone. That
Oh,
would be more dramatic with the echo
that was
because
pretty good.
that thing created the echo, but now you can do the echo so we can fake
Yeah.
the echo with my mini microphone that is also
And
on
I
my
actually hit
desk.
the echo, and on my end, I don't know what it sounds like to everybody out there in internet land, but it goes, and now for the picks of the week. It's like it's revving
Nice.
up to echo. It's kind of cool.
Perfect.
All right. So my pick of the week. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm in Alaska, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to fly out here on an aeroplane, as they say in Europe. And you might be thinking, well, did you like, did you write down like what you're supposed to when it's leaving and when the gate? No, I'm not gonna write down anything. I'm allergic to
No time
paper.
for that.
So there are many apps out there to help you track. Well, one, the airline typically has an
Yeah.
app. Most of them are pretty good, but if you just want to eschew all those and use something that's common among all airlines, you could put anything in there and track your stuff. Look no further than Flighty. It's a
Yes.
weird name, but it works well. I've heard lots of YouTubers talk about this over the years,
Yeah.
and it does cost, but you can use it for free for pretty much anything that I'll ever do. I'm not a big.
Yeah.
I was talking about it earlier, how I'm such a jet setter, but that was a lie. I rarely fly anywhere, and so the basic features of this are wonderful. And there's an I. This has given me the Mac. Let me go to the iPhone. So yeah, there's just you get live activities. It part of your dynamic island on your phone, and so you're looking at your music, and up in the little corner it shows the gate that you need to go to. It's just like so helpful. Anyway, it's great. There's all kinds of features that the paid app gives you, but if you just want a way to store the the airline, the flight number, the gates, and all that stuff, And it'll update if there's delays, and it'll send you a text message and be like, "Oh,
Nice.
it's not going to work." Oh, and there's an Apple Watch. I think this is a paid feature, but if you have an
Okay.
Apple Watch, there's a little complication that you can put on there. So
Wow.
if you travel a lot, you got to get Flighty. I don't see that
Yeah.
there's any really other alternative that is as good as this.
No, no, that is what I've heard from everybody. And I did see on there a little teaser for next week, one of their screenshots at the top. It said Apple Design Award winner 2023. And we'll be looking at some of the nominations
Yeah.
for the 2024 awards next week.
Well, just real quick, the prices are you can get a week to week pro, just to, you get to fly for 1 week, $4. Probably worth it if you're going somewhere like China or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, a lot of flights.
you can do a monthly thing just for a couple bucks more, $6. Um, you can do annual savings if you do a year at a time. It's $48. If you're on a family plan, it's $90 so that you and your five
Oh,
household
wow.
members
Yeah.
can share it, which is great. They've got a flexible monthly family plan for $11. Here's where the real magic happens. You can buy lifetime Flighty Pro and Flighty Pro Family lifetimes. So if you just
Wow.
say I don't want to do anything, I just want to buy it, $250. Sounds like a lot, but I have spent $250 on a lot dumber things. So
Yes, 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 for people that travel a lot. But I do like that week to week because, yeah, if you're going even for, a 2 week and you got a bunch of connections and going all over the place, it would be really nice to have.
yeah,
So
nice.
good, good pick. Thanks for that one. Well, my pick of the week also includes travel. We should have got you one of these, Dave.
Okay.
This is the GL.iNet GL-MT 3000 Beryl AX pocket size Wi-Fi 6 wireless travel gigabit router, Wi-Fi router, OpenVPN, Wireguard, connect to public and hotel Wi-Fi login page, RV. So,
RV.
RV.
Very
We
unceremoniously.
Yes, we had talked about this, Dave, you and I, because it was referenced on MacBreak Weekly. It was a pick by somebody on there. But what this is, you might be looking at and go, well, that looks like a real tiny, just cheap little, uh, Wi-Fi router kind of thing. But it is for travel. So the antennas fold down; they feel real nice there. So on this side, you have a reset button and a mode button, which you can it's kind of a shortcut button. You can
Sorry, I thought I
program
was in
that
the.
to different things
I
like
thought there was a picture.
VPN.
Sorry.
Oh, yes. And then on the back,
There we
here's
go.
where it gets interesting.
Hold
You
on, hold
have,
on. There we go. I thought
yes,
the picture on the back was good. Who's driving this?
who is
Let me
driving
off
this
this
train?
crazy thing. So yes,
Yes.
there's the official picture, and now here's Nate's picture.
Yes. So it's got some ports on the back. You will see, oh, got to move it behind my light. You have a USB 3 with the little blue in there.
Yeah.
Why? Come on, focus, baby. You have two Ethernet ports and you have a USB-C port on it. Now, the Ethernet ports, you have a 2.5 gigahertz and 2.5 gigabit and a 1 gigabit connection there. Now, you're still wondering why the heck, Nate, you've got home internet. You guys picked the Unify Dream routers before. You've talked about how good Unify is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this thing runs off of a software called, is it OpenWRT? I looked at it right before the show, but it has been a long time. OpenWRT,
Okay.
which has long-standing been an open source router software that has all kinds of options in it. Now, this thing, for one, I can take my iPhone, I can plug USB C from my iPhone into this thing, and it will power it. And I can also tether my iPhone's hotspot into this, and it will use that as internet and then push it out on the Wi-Fi that is in this, which is a really nice feature. You can use regular internet if you have Ethernet in. and then you can create networks. If you happen to go to a hotel or an inn in Alaska that only had an Ethernet connection, you could wire it into this, and then you would have Wi-Fi. Somebody was talking about that. Another advantage is even on your home network, if you needed to do some like high speed Wi-Fi stuff, this has Wi-Fi 6 built in. So it is very fast. So if you just wanted to connect two devices that you needed to have a fast connection on, you can connect external hard drives. If you wanted to do a little media server on it, you can do all kinds of VPN stuff. You can have two, possibly three. I was trying to watch a video to decipher. So you could have like your hotspot coming in, a Wi-Fi, you could have a cellular like dongle thing on it. So then it will either do failover. So you say, well, use my home internet. And if that fails, connect to the cellular thing. If that fails, connect to my hotspot. Or you could have it where it's co-banded, where it will use all of the internet connections you have to give you better internet connection.
So how do you get more than one internet connection into the device?
Well,
Like
you
one
would
through the
use,
USB and one through the Ethernet?
and you can do one through Wi-Fi. So it has Wi-Fi in and can also have Wi-Fi out.
And it
So
conglomerates all those together?
I know it can conglomerate two, and you can have three. But yeah, and there's all kinds of plugins, all the different VPN services you can do, like OpenVPN, or what's the one, NordVPN, that everybody advertises, or one of those, plus a work VPN. You can have a bunch in there that you can switch between. So I've been playing around with it a little bit and going through the settings. But it is a great little device, especially if you travel a lot, much like your pick.
Well, I had a use case at work for a live stream, and you told me you were going to kind of beta test this for my purposes. So do you think it'd be something that would work well for that?
Yeah. I think you could even have, so you could have like internet, if you were able to split it off directly from, say, your Comcast connection into it. You could have connection from your regular, firewall router device, and then you could also have some sort of hotspot device connected to it. So you would pretty much be guaranteed, short of nuclear attack, that you would keep some sort of internet connection.
That's actually kind of nice, because I could do, for example, I was contemplating getting the T-Mobile home internet service, which is about $60 a month, and you get a hardware device that goes with that. But I could hook both the Comcast and the T-Mobile into this device, connect it to the live stream hardware, and then it's turnkey. It's set it and forget it. I don't have to switch. It's like if one of them is sucking the hind teat, then the other one would compensate, hopefully.
Yeah. And I was watching a video today, and the guy was showing that he was doing a ping, and it would switch from one to the other, and it would miss like maybe one ping. He was just really impressed with how fast it is. So they're about $87. There's 1,000,001 uses for this. Like, I barely scratched the surface
That might
on
be a
all the
little
different
generous,
things you can do this.
yes.
But just the fact that, with my phone and with this, I can basically create a network anywhere I want to with hotspot and have blazing fast Wi-Fi speeds with the Wi-Fi 6.
Well, and I can think of one other use is if you are with a group of people and you're the only one with the internet access to your phone, you may not want to give them all your personal hotspot access with your password, although you could change it. But instead, give them the password of that deal. And when it's off,
and you can create a guest network on it where it's just a guest network where they have limited access and all that stuff. So this is, really, it is the Swiss Army knife that Elliot's going to get in his care package of travel routers, the GL.iNet. And this is the GL MT3000 Beryl AX, which you can find on Amazon, along with many of our previous picks. I Talk Good, which you can find over at notpicks.com. And we do have our new giveaway going over there, a $20 Amazon gift card for you. If you all you have to do is go leave a review, and then we will pick somebody out. I've got all the details over there. That
Whoa, there it is right there. Is this
there it
something
is
I
on
can
the
get?
website.
I want
Something,
that gift card.
Dave, I will let you enter into this one,
No,
and
that's
I will
okay.
totally not rig it to make sure that you don't
You
win.
know what? I was
Um,
looking around in some drawers that I have at home,
yeah.
and I came across a $50 Amazon gift card that I believe has never been entered. And
Ooh,
so I may have just got a $50
bonus.
gold mine there.
Nice. Well, make sure you go through notpicks.com. And we do have a Ramazon purchase from somebody that went through notpicks.com. Somebody, I think this must be related to some of our previous ones. Milwaukee Electric Tool 49 22 1129 Sawzall reciprocating saw blade set, 12-piece white. I think just like last week, I feel like this is Wes, friend of the show, Wes, because
It probably
he
is.
is very hands-on, but it's a 12-piece Sawzall blade set
And you know
that
what,
looks
Nate?
like, yeah,
I believe I have that exact blade set, but I purchased it a
really,
couple years ago from Home Depot. But I
yeah.
just wanted to point out that I'm cool like Wes also. So,
Yes,
I
well,
have
there
that
you go. You guys should get together and
saw
Sawzall some
stuff.
stuff, and it looks like it's not currently available.
What?
So
He bought
maybe
all
they
of
bought
them.
the last one. Yeah, but there are many other options for these blades. I don't believe that I have ever used a Sawzall. My
Mm,
usually let my dad handle that with his woodworking skills.
yeah, it's the Sawzall's not like a little jigsaw. It's designed to get some serious cuttage.
Yes,
So,
yes. Well, speaking of serious cuttage, it's about time to wrap up this episode. I will remind people that we still have 2 weeks to wait until Apple's WWDC. So we should have a normal episode next week, and then the week after that will be Apple's WWDC keynote. So we'll have more details on that next week. But we should be back to a normal episode next week. And thank you so much for everybody that joined the live chat.
mm-hmm.
Watch later on YouTube. Find it in any of your podcast apps, wherever it is. Carrier pigeon. Todd will send it to you in an iPod Nano via Western Union. Any way that you want to enjoy so that you can get out there and tech better.